Good evening. This is Susan, and this is Susan's Ramblings. I have a few things I want to discuss with you tonight. One thing is the Best Buy dates on the cans and the boxes that we receive, that we buy in the grocery stores. That means exactly Best Buy. It does not mean it has expired. That date is put on the can and the boxes simply because the manufacturer does it. It doesn't mean a thing. It just means that the quality may go down, but it does not mean that it is spoiled and that you have to throw it away. It can still be used, it can still be eaten. Um, the government does not require the manufacturers to put this date on it. That's all the manufacturing thing. That's what the manufacturers do. That has nothing to do with the government, regardless of what you've been told. The only thing the government requires a date on other is the baby formula. And I can see that wholeheartedly, because that could be very disastrous if they got a wrong formula. And that date is based on science. Dates based on science are a lot different than the dates snatched out of the air by the manufacturers. And personally, I think the manufacturers put those dates on there just simply so we become afraid to eat it. And we don't eat it. And we throw it away, so we have to buy another one. That's not it at all. You can eat it. The only problem you might have is with the high acid foods such as tomatoes or pineapple. I don't know what's going on now, but I've had several cans of pineapple explode on me just within this last year, and I never had a problem with that before. I don't know if the cans are made differently. That's my guess is they're cutting back on the materials for the cans. But those are two things to watch: the tomatoes and the pineapple, because of the high acid and how it may affect the cans, and your cans will deteriorate that way. All of the other foods that have best dates by. Another thing you should watch are those cans that have pull-type lids on them. They don't seal as tightly as the solid lid, and they are more apt to become open or to get open by misuse or by just simply stacking them on top of each other, or etc., etc. So watch those dates too, those cans too. That doesn't mean that you throw away a can. If it's still sealed, if it hasn't deteriorated anyway, and if the can hasn't deteriorated in any way, if the box hasn't deteriorated in any way, but you can just do the three things: smell and taste. That doesn't mean taste a whole cupful. It just means take your finger and taste it and smell. And those are pretty accurate things to do, and to assure you that the food is still good. Remember, these dates are put on by the manufacturers, not because they are required by the government. Period. There is no reason for you, if something is expired, or if it says Best Buy date and that date is gone by, there is no reason for you to throw that food away. Use it as quickly as possible, or be like me. I go through my things. I put the dates on top on most of them, but not all of them. I have more things to do than that, but I keep my food's rotated, and I use uh, what I bring in, I take out, I eat, and then I bring in some more. So I very few seldom have any foods that are expired. The only thing I came across that was expired recently was um, shelf-stable milk, and it was 2 years out. Now I don't know for the life of me how it ended up. I missed it for 2 years, but I did. But anyway, I opened it up and I smelled it, and it smelled just fine. So I let it go, and I used it, and we had no problems with it. It was not sour. It was not. It was just milk, and I happened to have to use the whole quart of milk for whatever I was making that day. So I had no problem. I just opened it up and I poured it in, and we ate it. Okay, so things, just because it's a month or two or 6 months or a year beyond that best buy date, don't worry about it unless it is pineapple or tomatoes. Then you might have a problem. Or if the lid has come open because of the pull tide thing, then you have a problem. That doesn't mean you go and you buy all the dented cans that are there. Now sometimes I had an online order come in yesterday, and one of my cans were dented. I'm assuming it got dented during shipping. I hope it got dented during shipping. Anyway, I opened it up and I ate it last night and we had no problem. Okay, so, but don't buy any can that is severely dented. I mean really dented. Or, or show any sign of being damaged. Those aren't the kind you buy. And yes, they're cheaper, but there again, I don't want to put my family's health to at a risk, so I don't buy dented cans, period. Okay, that's all that on that subject. The next subject I've got is the other day I don't know what I did to my back. It's sciatic nerve. If any of you've ever had sciatic nerve problem, you know exactly how painful they can get. And that is what's stopping me right now. I have finally gotten some pain medicine that will help me get through. But the best thing you can do for a sciatic nerve is just rest and let it heal by itself. Like somebody said the other day, one of my best friends on YouTube told me that God has a way of planning those things, and who knows what he's trying to protect me from. Because I've had to stay home, and I've had to rest, and I can't lay down, and I can't stand. So I'm in my recliner in my chair for most of the day. But anyway, that's what's going on with me. Now, for the next few days, I will be showing you some ingredients, some foods. And I'm going to ask you to make up a meal using those foods. And then I will tell you what I plan for those foods. Okay? So make sure you comment down there and tell me what you would make with those things. Some of them are way off. Some of them are very, very good. They're all good. It's just that you probably never thought of it. I never thought of them. And like I say, I'm researching recipes all the time, and then I do them. I cook them. And I was making cheese until my back went out. That's a process, but it's coming along fine. I was hoping to videotape that sometime this week, but it's not going to happen. Okay? It is very simple. I got the shelf-stable milk is what I used, and it came out just fine. I will tape that process as soon as I can stand for any length of time. And I was going to try with instant milk. With the instant milk, I've got both whole milk, instant whole milk, and I've got instant non-fat milk. And they tell me it can be made. Well, we've got different videos on it. So I will be making that and seeing what happens, okay? Another thing is, with this economy going the way it is, and all these shortages that we have, the more you can make at home, the more you can do at home, the more you can cook from scratch, and the more you can cook outside of the box, the better off you're going to be. This is going to call for, these times are going to call for unprecedented things for us nowadays. Our parents and our grandparents lived through the Depression. They lived through World War II, where everything was rationed, and they came through some tough times. We haven't had any of those tough times. Sorry, we haven't. Yes, we had the war in Vietnam, we had the war in Korea, we had the war in Iraq, Kuwait. We had all those wars, Afghanistan, but they didn't really touch home. It was not a home base, and for some reason, we were able to live daily life without worrying about them over there, unless we had somebody over there we loved. And yes, I've had them serve in Vietnam. I've had them serve in Iraq. Thank God I haven't had them serve in Afghanistan, although I do suspect one of my friends is over there in Afghanistan, but we haven't had word from him yet. And we would have word if something had happened to him, okay? He just can't communicate with us, and that's what he told us. So we won't hear from him until he's back safely, back at his base. And so, those things didn't touch us. The Depression didn't touch us. Yes, we've gone through recessions that we thought were pretty bad. But the government always stepped in and did something for it to ease it on us. I don't know if it's good or bad, or if it was good or bad. I have no idea. All I know is it pulled the country through. Now we have problems, don't we? Lots of problems. And we're going to have to, like I said, think outside of the box. Those of us that have been prepping for many, many years, only we didn't call it prepping at that time. I've been prepping, if you want to put it that way, for 50 years, over 50 years. But we never called it prepping. We just called, I don't know what we called it. We just did it. And we put stuff on the shelf, we canned them, we canned, we froze. We raised their own animals, we raised their own garden. Everybody had a garden. And if they didn't live on a farm, they knew, they lived in a city, they knew somebody who lived on a farm. And they could get their chickens and their geese and ducks, and the cows and the pigs and so forth from them to eat. And it was nothing. Here we have a big hunting season, deer hunting. We're rural, a rural state with not much population. So everybody went deer hunting, and I mean everybody went deer hunting. And a lot of people didn't want their deer after they hunted it. So they would find somebody to give it to. And I grew up on deer meat. I'm not fond of deer meat yet. At that time, we didn't have the spices, and we didn't have the knowledge to take the gamey taste away from it. So I'm still having problems with venison, or any kind of wild thing. They tell me I love to eat duck, wild duck, and that I would eat a duck all by myself when I was small. I don't remember that. Sorry. But anyway, those are the things we're going to have to think outside of the box. You're going to have to sit down Whether you want to or not, you're going to have to sit down and plan out your menus. You're going to have to look at what you have in your pantry and what you have in your freezers and what is available to eat at your stores that day. I don't mean going shopping every day. I don't go shopping every day. I'm lucky if I go shopping once a week. That's in person. I go in person maybe once a month. With this new strain going around, I don't even go once a month anymore. I just have them delivered. And you got to remember, I'm in a small town, 50 miles away from Walmart or Dollar Tree or anything like that, or a a big chain store. So I have to make do with what the local grocery has or what my Dollar General has. And I do make it to Dollar General once a month because I have some things I have to get there. But otherwise, I don't always make it there all the time. I will send my daughter or my granddaughter after what I need. But anyway, those are the things you're going to have to do. You're going to have to sit down and figure out 14, 15 proteins you have, or 31 proteins. Now, I don't need, and this is from a suggestion from Jan of New York Saves Money. It's her suggestion. You figure out how many proteins you have, for how many meals you're going to make, how many proteins you need to make this meal. And that means buying enough hamburger, enough chicken, enough baba. Nowadays, it's enough beans, it's enough rice, and so forth to get you through for those 31 days. However, if you think that's too much, then go for 7 days. And dig out what you've got. Make sure you check it out. And then you go to the grocery store and see what they have there. Now, I will be going in on Friday, and I want to check out especially pork chops, and chicken breast, any kind of chicken, okay? Except for wings. I'm not going to get wings, but any of that stuff. Anyway, that's what I will be checking out, and their produce. Every Friday, they generally reduce the prices on their produce. That is close to expiration, or so forth. That is one date you should watch your produce dates. Buy, or Best Buy, whatever it is. Because if you don't, they're spoiled on you. Okay, and we don't want wasted food. So I will check out that, and most of the time if I buy them, I will bring them right home, and they will go on the dehydrator, or they will go right in the freezer. So I have no problem with that, buying that kind of stuff. Anyway, so do that. See what you've got in your pantry. And I've got enough in my pantry, I think, to last me a year. But it's all been built up little by little by little. And since I am 74 years old, due to be 75 in a couple of months, I decided the other day that I was going to use up my long-term foods too. I'm sorry if I'm hungry, I won't open them right away. But if I get hungry and I run out of them, of that particular product, I'm sorry, I'm going to buy them. I'm going to eat it. Who knows if I'll be around for 25 years. And, yeah. Anyway, so I looked at it that way. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. I will be putting up something tomorrow. And this one has me intrigued. I will be doing it too because it's very simple. Be ramen noodles, Alfredo sauce, spaghetti sauce, and cheese. That's it. What can you make from that? Huh? I got a good recipe, and it's good. I use creamy chicken too for it. Okay? We'll see you tomorrow. I'll show you what I did with my ramen noodles and my sauces. Have a great day. God bless you. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.